Bullying is a big problem all over the country. Many people that I have met experience bullying at least once in their life. Being a victim of bullying makes you wonder why it happens and who else experienced it.
I got bullied since first grade because the way I look. Because I looked ugly. Nobody liked me because I had long hair, really long nails.
The way my legs looked and how I looked physically, like because of my weight.
Bullying at its core is about power, and it's about that imbalance of power. And bullying other students allows those bullies to feel powerful and kind of feeds their ego. It might be they might have other students who are supporting their behavior, and it reinforces that behavior, so they'll engage in that behavior more often.
Because somebody always wants to feel one up by putting someone else one down.
Bullying is defined as aggressive behavior, unwanted aggressive behavior that involves a balance of power. There's an intent to harm, and it's typically repeated over time.
Today, there's not just one type of bullying. There's too many.
So when we talk about types of bullying, we really have four main kinds of bullying. You have the traditional definition of bullying, which is physical bullying, and that's punching, kicking, pushing, spitting, hair pulling, so forth. That when we talk about bullying in the movies or TV, that's what we see most often. We also have verbal bullying, which is your name calling, it's your threats, and so forth. The third one is cyberbullying, which is online bullying. And the fourth one, which is probably the most overlooked, but one of the more common forms of bullying, is what we call relational bullying. And what that is excluding students. So when we think about the lunchroom, and the one or two students that no one will let them sit with them, or we think about out in the gym yard in the elementary school, and we always have the kids that no one will let play.
It made me feel upset in different ways because I really couldn't concentrate on my schoolwork.
It made me feel worthless.
The effects of bullying are not just emotional, there can also be long-term physical effects.
So bullying is a serious issue. At PSR, we look at bullying as a public health issue. There's been research done since the 1970s on the effects of bullying. You're seeing health effects where students or young people or even adults who are victims of bullying are having issues sleeping, having lack of appetite, suffering from depression, suffering from sometimes post-traumatic stress. There are mental health issues associated with it where folks are affected long-term, 10, 20 years after the fact. They're still dealing with the issues of the bullying that was going on.
A study by the National Crime Prevention Council found that 42% of teens see at least one bullying or taunting incident in school every day. If all this bullying is happening, why isn't anyone saying anything?
People might not stand up for people that's being bullied because sometimes they think they're going to be bullied, and people are always willingly to pick up away your flaws.
I don't think other people stand up for others being bullied because they are scared of being bullied like they were before, or just being bullied at all.
There's a fear that they don't want to get involved because there's going to be retaliation towards them for defending a victim of bullying. There's the conception or perception out there that adults won't get involved and nothing will happen, so they'll step in, take a stand, but there won't be any actual action or follow-up to that. And then there's the kind of attitude where folks just don't want to get involved.
I think people don't stand up to bullying because, they're scared to get hit too.
It's like everybody's trying to create a persona and who they are, and they're afraid if they defend someone that it will come to them. I mean, it's a fear kind of a thing.
If you get bullied or witness bullying, never think it's too late to tell anyone because there are many solutions to help the situation.
When you see somebody else being bullied, you should be like, no, stop that, that's wrong, because it is wrong.
I don't believe anyone should be bullied.
You have to stand up for yourself and don't be scared to go to a principal or tell a parent of what's going on.
The school district does have a bullying hotline that can be called. At each of the schools, there are guidance counselors that can help support students. There are adults, caring adults, whether those are teachers, whether those are nurses. The state, they have an office down at the school district as well who can investigate and support families who are being victimized. But my first step is always to talk to adults that you have a relationship with, whether that's teachers at the school, whether that's the counselor, whether that's the nurse, the principal. Reach out and talk to adults. And generally adults in our schools care about all the students in the school, and they want the school to be a safe place. So that's typically the first step that I always tell folks to reach out to.
If people could only realize that if they stood up for what they believed, then nobody could really touch them. When I was in college, I was a freedom rider. It was the right thing to do. And it was very frightening, but I never felt that I would ever have done it differently.
And if more people would be willing to get involved, whether that's to stand up, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go confront a bully, but what that might mean is you're going to go comfort the victim, or you're going to talk with them about, hey, we want you to tell an adult what's going on.
And I think when kids can learn that when they stay true to what is right and what they believe in, nothing can really touch you. And that's the message that kids should be given.